What up, everybody? Raising Kanan Season 3, Episode 8. Started out with Rock sitting in her house chain smoking, with OG Kanan narrating and saying, the toughest part when you're alone is that there's no one else around. When Rock heard her brother's voice from afar screaming foolishness about being a killer for the whole neighborhood to hear. And when Rock tried to stop him, he said, they need to know who you are. They need to know who I am. They need to know what we do. Before screaming some more, before Rock could finally get him inside. Then Rock called over Marvin, and we can see Marvin and Rock starting to clash about what to do with Lou. Marvin is genuinely concerned about Lou and wants him to get some help, while Rock is more concerned about making sure that Lou don't go running his mouth to nobody else. If you actually look at both sides of the coins here, both sides make a valid point. And if they would have put their ideas together and figured out a way to get Lou help and keep him quiet, Lou may be in a better situation than he is right now. But Rock went on to tell Marvin that Lou was gonna us all up. But again, Marvin, looking at the other side of the coin, told Rock that Lou could get better because he got better. Keeping in mind that Marvin was once a drug addict before going to prison. But Rock wasn't trying to hear all that and told Marvin that not everybody wants to get better. But we know from previous episodes this season that Lou actually does want to get better and he doesn't want to actually be a drunk. A little while later, Marvin again tried to convince Rock about Lou, saying you gotta trust me on Lou. And Rock went on to say something very important to keep in mind. You think I'm hard-hearted. This is again showing that Rock and Marvin's hearts are in two completely different places concerning Lou. Keeping in mind what was said about Marvin in the series premiere, that he never misses an opportunity to miss an opportunity, but he's loyal. Now we see he's possibly loyal to a fault. Then Rock went on to talk about looking in the mirror and dealing with your own decisions. When Marvin went on to tell Rock another key to keep in mind. His whole life now is about looking in the mirror. When Rock asked Marvin, does he like who's looking back? And Marvin's reply to that was that he's starting to. But Rock told Marvin that Lou doesn't like who's looking back at him. Rock also made the terrible decision. Instead of having Marvin or herself look over Lou, she called her mother Joyce, who only came to make things worse. Joyce showed up the next morning really only concerned about one thing, and that was making sure to get some money from Rock. Then instead of trying to help Lou, she gave him some burnt food and told him, quote, grown man needs his mama to watch over him. If that's not sorry, I don't know what is. And that's all it took for Lou to get up and leave, go to his bar, pack his things, finish Famous's song, give it to Shirley to give to Famous, and go to who knows where. Somewhere he was pissing on the side of a building when two guys tried to rob him before he scared them away being so drunk, pulling out his pistol and firing it. When Lou went missing, Marvin got the call from Shirley, telling him about Lou when Rock walked in. And we can see the conflict on how to deal with Lou again. Rock felt like the priority needed to be dealing with the trucks so they can get back to work, while Marvin thought finding Lou should be the priority. But Rock told Marvin that Lou needs to shut the up. If he do that, we good. And we know from the episode 9 trailer that Lou's not going to shut up, but only become a bigger problem that has to be dealt with expeditiously. Also keep in mind the scene from episode 7 when they first found out that Lou was running his mouth. Rock told Marvin that his brother needs to make this right, that if he don't, when Marvin cut her off and said that he would take care of it. So we see the tension's been building up for a minute concerning Lou, and it's at the point where Rock wouldn't have a problem smoking Lou. Now keep in mind that Lou's only been getting worse and running his mouth more and more all season. Starting all the way from episode 1, when Lou started turning up the bottle, after the Mafia shot up the Bulletproof Records studio, Zisa got killed, and Rock told her earlier the same night that she owned him, and also that Scrappy was just an accident. He started off getting drunk and running his mouth to Marvin about Scrappy. But Marvin wasn't really buying it because he was the one who Scrappy lied to, so he knew that Scrappy was up to something even if he wasn't a snitch. Then Lou continued to get drunk and called Kanan over before confessing to killing D-Wiz and telling him that Rock sent him to do it. But Kanan didn't give him the reaction he wanted either because he already knew about what happened to D-Wiz. So Lou's alcohol problem only got worse throughout the season, to the point he got blacked out drunk and went to talk to Scrappy's mother, which resulted in her going to the precinct, and Lou having to smoke Chantel to cover up for his mistake. But keep in mind that Lou's getting drunk to the point that he's blacking out, meaning he really has no idea what he's doing and is capable of doing or saying anything at any time, because he has no kind of control over himself right now. The episode 9 trailer shows Lou drinking and driving, and Rock talking to Howard and letting Howard know that her brother needs to be off the streets and she can't find him. Then it shows Lou on 2 more scenes that will be significant concerning Lou's fate on how they play out. First, it shows Lou getting arrested at the precinct with 2 cops. Then it shows Lou telling Howard he can solve every murder on the South Side, with Howard pulling out a gun and putting it to Lou's head. So now we definitely know who had the gun to Lou's head from the season 3 teaser, and that's Howard. Then it shows Marvin and Rock, with Lou pleading for his life with Marvin, saying, "Don't let her kill me, Marvin." Another question to ask is Marvin with Rock, or does he walk in on Rock and Howard about to kill Lou and try stopping them? Because if Marvin and Rock were in the next room and he heard Lou say he could solve every murder on the South Side, that probably would be enough for Marvin to go ahead and give the go-ahead to go ahead and smoke Lou. Keep it in mind how much Marvin hates rats, that he had Tony D smoked, and also notice how his whole demeanor changed at the diner when he figured out that Gerald was up to something and asking questions that he shouldn't have been. But because of the conflict that was building up between Marvin and Rock on how to deal with Lou in episode 8, I don't see Marvin giving up on Lou and letting Howard and Rock smoke Lou that easily. Now, a big question is, will Howard go ahead and smoke Lou anyway because Marvin and Rock can't decide on what to do? Also, keeping in mind that Howard is now in contact and doing dirt with Marvin, who is also the center of a federal investigation. So that could also be potentially one of Lou's saving graces. Howard might want to watch what he does in front of Marvin in case Marvin does end up facing those charges. But one key to keep in mind is Lou really only opens his mouth when he is drunk. So if they can get him cleaned up, it may actually solve their problem. And that's why I said the order of those scenes were important, because Marvin could convince Rock and Howard to have Howard have his boys lock Lou up in some kind of holding cell for a while until they can sober him up and figure out what to do with him. And one more thing I want to bring up before I finish that could be a possible clue that Lou is going to die. Is Famous going to get his tape and talking to Shirley about taking over Lou's job in studio? So it seems like they might have just written Lou out of the storyline right there. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.